shows you negative thoughts and positive thoughts.
Yeah, I was talking to Ari about that on his podcast about how, like, when I took acid, if I had a negative thought, all of the clouds would turn into skulls. And if I had a positive thought, they'd all turn into these dancers, and I could switch it. I could just, like, switch, and my entire visual would change with my mental.
I had a very similar experience once, where when I had negative thoughts, everything would go, like, black and pixelated and dark, and then I would have a positive. I would realize it, like, oh no, you're doing this, and then boom, it would blossom in these beautiful geometric patterns. I was like, oh,
yeah,
kind of in control of how you view things, which is in control of how your life works.
That's the one thing that psychedelics want you to get so hard. Every time I do it, it feels like it's making fun of me. It's like, bro, you have control.
Yes.
You can have a bad life or a good life. Make the fucking choice.
Yeah.
And every time I do it, I'm like, okay, I'll remember. And then the next day, I'm like, somebody said I'm fat on Twitter. You know, it's crazy. I just had this big revelation the other day where I was like, what if everything is all right? Like, I'm writing, and then this weird thing happened, and I'm like, I want to die. And I was like, oh yeah. Sometimes I feel like when you have those revelations, you get a little tested. You ever feel like that? Like, I'll be like, when I'm like, okay, you know, like my head was so big about the Netflix coming out. I dropped into the creek yesterday, do a new joke set, just bomb the whole way through, sweating in front of these people. They're like, they don't know who I am. They're just like, what are you saying? And I was like, okay, just trying brand new weird stuff.
Right.
Because my ego's so big that I'm like, I don't even need to workshop this shit, bitch. And I do it, and they're just like, we don't understand you. And I'm like, anyway, watch the special. It's a lot better than that.
It is the most humbling thing to work on new stuff after you put out a special. It's the most humbling. Because you have no weapon.
And you just were doing shows where you're like,
bam, tight, ready.
Totally.
Yeah.
Looking at the notepad and being like, what else? Still nothing on there. It's crazy.
It's the hardest thing. It's like coming up with subjects. You know?
It's also hard when your brain is preoccupied with putting out a special, I've noticed.
Right.
You know, like, I'm editing, I'm thinking about shit, promotion, and then I'm like, I have to. But that's why I think you have to take time.
100%.
But the rush. People are like, aren't you so proud of yourself? And I'm like, no, because now I'm doing bad sets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't have time to be proud because I'm going up on stage and being like, so here's something I was thinking, you know, and it's never.
I think that's a good thing for us.
It's
a good reality check.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, like every couple of years, you gotta get smacked in the face and start from scratch again.
It's really good.
Brian Simpson did a brilliant thing. So what Brian Simpson did is he developed 2 hours. So he put out 1 hour, and then when he went touring afterwards, he had another hour already.
Well, I thought he asked Ari. I thought he was like, can I put out both hours? Can I put out all of it?
Don't do that.
Yeah,
I think what he did was perfect.
When I did the half hour, I had that. I put a half hour out, and I was fucking cruising. But this one, any fat that I had, I cut. It was like, I hate you're dead to me.
Right.
So all of the stuff I liked, I put in it. So then when I was touring, I was like, I've already decided that I hate that.
Right.
I can bring it back up, but I don't want to.
Right, and then you feel like you're a fraud if you do.
Yeah.
And if you're not interested in the subject, like if you're like, it's dead to me, it's over.
Yeah.
You gotta let go.
Totally. It's crazy. And it's hard to be on stage and talk about what I want to talk about, which is how crazy it is. Putting out a special, you know what I mean? But I don't want to talk about that.
Jonas, what up?
Also, that's like
How you living?
Not relatable. But you're like, I want to tell you guys about.
Jonas.
If Rashi says, if you wake a fire before somebody will
Jonas, can you hear me? Jonas. Jonas. Yo. Jonas. Can you hear me? Yo, dog. Jonas. Yo, go fuck yourself. Nobody want to talk with you anyway. Loser. Douche.
That's what's on my mind.
especially the people that don't know who you are, then it's really not relatable.
Yeah. Bill Burr was very inspiring because he put out that special about how he changed the recent one where he was like, I'm not going to be an angry person anymore. And that was sick because I feel like sometimes I'll be like, maybe I should have a perspective shift where I am stop being such an angry person and against humanity. And I'm like, no, but that's not funny. So seeing Burr do that, I'm like, oh, I could have material about how like therapy helps, instead of how my therapist sucks. You know what I mean? Like, and that was nice to see him do that. Where he was like, "I'm gonna stop harassing my wife." That was the whole special. It was like, my wife is like gonna die someday, and I'm making her life quite bad. It was great.
When I was young, I had this stupid idea in my mind that you should stray away from meditation or enlightenment or anything because it would get in the way of being funny.
Yeah, totally.
It would get in the way of chaos.
I have that with relationships. I'm like, I'm gonna keep this tumultuous relationship, and I'm just gonna keep that's how I thrive.
Mining for material.
Mining for material. Just keep myself in a state of like unknown constantly, so that I feel like I'm alive.
Ooh.
Because I feel like I'll die if I have any comfort or stability. My studio is the size of this table. There's no reason I should live like that. It's crazy. There's no reason. But I just keep myself in these little fucking...
Do you like living in New York like that?
I don't need to. I can live in a bigger place in New York. It's totally fine.
So you're doing it to yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing it to myself to be like, you have to struggle. And you don't, you know what I mean, to clean your tuna cans. You have to leave it. It's crazy. It's crazy.
At least you know it's crazy.
Yeah, totally. And I'm working on it. I am working.
Oh, okay.
I am working.
Talking to a realtor?
I'm talking to 2 therapists.
Oh.
And yeah, that's the other thing is I'm like, I don't want to get a bigger place if I'm going to buy a place in New York.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Eventually you're going to buy a place.
Yeah.
Right,
so I'm like,
right.
maybe just struggle.
But it's a weird time for the real estate market right now.
I bought a house in Ithaca.
Oh, yeah?
Upstate? Upstate.
Oh, you're one of them people that gets an upstate house.
Well,
you go to visit.
It's like 5 hours from New York. So yeah, people are like, upstate? And I'm like, no, it's like paintball upstate, dude.
So do you take a flight or you drive?
There's a flight from JFK now.
And you go to Ithaca and watch TV?
I mainly just work on the house and work on the, just do shit to get it up and running. I don't know what I'm going to do when it's done.
So you just like being in a small town?
Well, my family's there.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, my niece is there.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I was like, did she just pick Ithaca?
No way. My whole family's there. And I was so sick of going home and having to stay with my mom the whole time.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, she walked in on me having sex so many times.
Wow.
It's so annoying. Just swinging open the door. Oh, sorry. That's her every single time. Because she's deaf, so she can't hear shit.
Oh, no.
So she'll just swing it open. Oh, okay. It's fucking crazy, dude. And her house just has holes in it because she's a contractor, so she hasn't finished it.
Oh, no.
So there's just like there'll be like she'll just be scurrying around and be like, "There's a raccoon in here." I'm like, what? All the time, dude. It's crazy. There's a chipmunk on my laptop. I'm like, get it away. Bats coming in constantly.
Your dad's fainting?
Mm-hmm. Dad's dead now. Dad finally fainted his last faint.
Oh, no. It
was good. He worked all day, came home, died. We were happy about it.
Really?
I mean, we didn't want him to die, but yeah, he was like getting to a point where we were like, he's gonna have to start going to the hospital because he smokes so many cigarettes and is so unhealthy. And we're like, if he goes to the hospital, it's game over. He can't be around. He'll faint if he sees a hospital. It's like he knew it was happening. Was like, I'd rather die.
Did the cigarettes get him?
Yeah, cigarettes and Dunkin' Donuts.
Those things.
Yeah.
Very addicted.
Very addictive. He was a heavy smoker. That's why I want to kill Ian all the time.
Because he smokes so much?
Yeah. He sounds like my dad with the where you laugh and you go.
Ian seems like he really enjoys it, though.
That's what everybody says until they're hacking up along and they have to leave a movie theater halfway through to go smoke.
How much does Ian smoke a day?
I think he's down. I think he's down to like a pack and a half.
Oh, God.
He's getting there. I need to get him on the Zins, but he thinks that's gay.
Zins are gay?
He thinks,
what all the stuff he talks about on stage?
Yeah, that he thinks is perfectly regular and above board. Perfectly regular and above board.
But Zins are gay. That's so silly. What a silly take.
But so many people have that. That's like when people are like, I'm not going to enter recovery because I don't believe in God. I'm like,
yo, there he is. How you living, you little bitch?
That you could fuck.
Yo, can you hear me, or do you have dicks in your ears? Maybe you can't hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Are you talking? Yo. Yo. Hello? Yo, dog. Yo. Can you hear me? Yo.
Say specifically how it's constructed, but it does consist of a variety of parts.
Yo.
Some are organic,
Can you hear me?
some are inorganic. It does include liquid mercury, which is something that's been associated with UFOs and anti-gravity technology going back perhaps thousands of years, even to the ancient Nirvanas and that sort of thing. And, you know, my idea was, all right, when I turn this thing on and then I go home, how do I continue the experiment? So I decided to create this additional component, almost like an accessory, called the entangler. And the entangler would connect to the psionicron. Now the entangler has two components inside of it. And since the entangler was there, when the experiment was happening, I was wondering if it would be imprinted via sympathetic resonance. And if so, then I would take half of the entangler and bury it there in the desert. I'd take the other half home with me and then see, as crazy as this sounds, if I might be able to communicate with the portal long distance remotely via quantum non-locality, what's Einstein called spooky action at a distance. Portals, is that why you built it? The reason, I mean, that was the exclusive reason. I've studied all of these different kinds of technologies from different cultures that are supposed to be a part of opening portals. And as a matter of fact, a lot of people associate the ancient Egyptians with something like a Stargate, and the pyramids may have, in some cases, played a role in opening up these kinds of portals. And I was reading just the other day about King Tut, and King Tut's death mask is just covered with turquoise. And as a matter of fact, there's a cobra on the forehead of the mask, which is the most prominent feature. And at the base of the cobra, there's two stripes of turquoise. And turquoise has been prized by ancient cultures all over the world. Turns out, has some of the finest turquoise in the world. The most expensive specimen of turquoise ever sold came from Nevada. And so I started going to these mines and getting real, authentic, raw Nevada turquoise and experimenting with them. If it's something to do with this Nevada tribe, this area from Las Vegas up to Reno and then to Fresno, California, where a lot of paranormal activity happens. And as a matter of fact, I even started creating pendants using raw Nevada turquoise and wearing them to experiment. I even have some of those on my website. And so I feel like that, there's this idea that geologically, I mean, they call this the Silver State, but it's also the largest producer of gold in North America. So there's a lot of mineralization here, and it seems like there's a natural battery supply here, battery power. And so I planted half of the entangler on the property. I took the other half back first to my house, and a few days later I was sitting there toying with it,
And my wife came in and she offered me lunch. It was just a hot dog and chips. So I was having lunch while I was experimenting with this thing, taking measurements. And for some reason, I'm a notoriously messy eater. So I got some mustard on my shirt. And so I said to Lauren, yeah, I should start wearing a bib. And she said, yeah, I agree. And then a few hours later, when it came dinner time, we ordered a delivery service. And when my delivery came, I opened the bag, and there was a bib inside. And I told Lauren, I said, well, how about that? That's awfully ironic, isn't it? And then kind of a light bulb went off, and I thought, I've never gotten a bib bag from the delivery here in Las Vegas. And I was just talking about that as I was working on the entangler. I wonder if I'm able to use the entangler sure enough to send messages through the portal. And I don't know where it would go. If it's going to aliens or angels or God or to the fabric of the universe. But a couple of days later, I had an appointment that I was supposed to attend with this local man. And I really had not gotten a lot of rest, and I didn't feel like attending this meeting. But I also thought it would be rude to cancel it. So I asked the entangler, I put a message on the entangler, and I said, will you somehow cancel this meeting or prolong it or whatever, and postpone it? And sure enough, within hours, this guy contacts me. I believe he said that his mother was sick or something like that, and we postponed the meeting. And I go, oh my gosh, we're really on to something. Well, obviously, you know me, I live here in Vegas, so I put an intention to win money at a local casino. I went to the casino. I put $100 in the machine. Within about 10 minutes, I hit a hand pay, which is in excess of $1,200. Wow. And I kept using this, and I told Lauren at one point, I said, you know what? This idea of sending messages through a portal in Area 51, it reminds me of the black mailbox. You know about the black mailbox?
I do not. No, tell us.
So if you're driving through, like you're going from Alamo, you're going down the extraterrestrial highway, and you're heading out there toward Rachel. There's a spot on the side of the road where there is just a black mailbox, a mysterious black mailbox, and there's nothing else around it.
A real mailbox.
Yes, a real mailbox. And people from all over the world stop and they leave messages in this mailbox that they believe are going to be somehow transmitted to the aliens. And this was originally some rancher years ago had this mailbox, and he got ticked off. People were always leaving notes and stuff in his mailbox, so he moved his mailbox. But then years later, it reappeared, and I don't even know where it came from. I don't know who tends to it, but the idea it's a tourist attraction for people who are into ufology. They stop at the black mailbox and put a message in there. And I said to Lauren, this is kind of like the real black mailbox, where you really could possibly send a message through this portal using the entanglement. And I know this way become.
Who's on the other side to get the message?
That is the mystery. See, I don't have the answer to that. And it's like.
Well, that blood certainly for any sick person, even in the summer. The Gemara tells us that Shmuel, Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi all burnt their expensive furniture in order to make a fire after they let blood. And the concept of Baltashkas doesn't apply here because Baltashkas of your body, not to ruin your body, is more important than not to Imashkas your furniture. We know that if somebody walks barefoot, in other words, he can't afford shoes, that's a tremendous embarrassment. So the halacha is you should sell even the things in your house to buy shoes. Yet when it comes to bloodletting and you have nothing else but a pair of shoes, sell your shoes so you can have a meal after you let blood, because it's very dangerous if you don't. We're not going to tell his students, tell your wives that I'm coming for a meal. And like this, they'll make a big meal and you'll have a lot what to eat. If a person cannot afford wine, the Gemara says this is one case where you're allowed to do trickery. You're going to a wine store, you say, I would like to purchase wine, give me a taste. And then you give them a coin, but we don't accept that coin. So you go until you drink a whole rupees. If you don't even have that, then you can eat 7 black dates, smear a little oil on your temple, lay in the sun. The Gemara tells us Shmuel laid in the sun, and Abed said, what are you doing? Sun rays are bad for your health. So he said, oh no, but I left blood. But what really was going on, it was the kufa of Tammuz. There's one day in the year that the sun is really beneficial throughout the entire day. If a person is not careful about the suuda that he's supposed to eat after bloodletting, HaKadosh Baruch Hu won't ever bless him and won't give him parnassus. What is the suuda? According to Rabbi, you eat to replenish the life that's lost in the person. According to Shmuel, you drink red wine. It's the red that the body's missing, and they would make for Shmuel spleen dish because it's red. The Gemara tells us that after bloodletting should be done in a room that there's no wind. In fact, Shmuel would go into a room that had a 22.5 tefach wide wall, which is about 7 feet wide. And one day after bloodletting, he realized something was wrong, and he saw that one.
There he is. How you living? What's good, son? Is it? Do you think it has anything to do with you being the number 2 William Montgomery fan in this call? Did you watch the William Montgomery? I'm asking you a question. Did you ask? Did you watch the William Montgomery show this week? Well, that's because you spend a lot of time shitting on the toilet. That didn't answer my question, son. My question was this. Did you watch the William Montgomery show from this week? Yeah, dog. I've watched it perhaps twice. Well, I'm going to give you an overview, and then I'm going to whoop your ass at Karam, and perhaps archery, and perhaps all kinds of other shit. So let me give you a breakdown as I adjust my devices. The William Montgomery show differed this week than it has in its previous weeks in that Casey Rocket, the once co-host of the show, was no longer the announcer. His name was not mentioned. His name was removed from the description of the William Montgomery show. And its about page. So it seems that Casey Rocket is no longer with the show. I just want to make you aware of that. And then also, there was no mention of the lovely Erica. So William Montgomery might be a single man. What'd you say, Pimp? Doug, I'm just telling you what the William Montgomery show diehards know. Those of us who have read all of the comments on the William Montgomery show. Yeah, no, it does. There's no doubt about that. Precisely. Because I want to ensure that you remain number 2. Exactly. I cannot like the show and still be his number one fan easily. That's like, let me explain. Let me explain. No, no, hold on. I like the Beatles. I'm a fan of the Beatles. There are some Beatles albums and some Beatles art that I like more than others. I like the Beatles music, not a huge fan of the Beatles movies. Just because I like the music more than the movies does not mean that I'm not a Beatles fan. In the same way that I like William Montgomery and I like William Montgomery's stand up, I find that his show is rather boring. No, not at all. Not at all. Because when you really understand the heart and the soul of William Montgomery, you recognize that he's far more than just 60 minutes a week of lame discussion about garbage topics. You understand that he's a man, that he has emotions, that he has a heart. You understand that he went to the University of Tennessee. You understand that he drives a Volvo, that he loves Costco, that he's a giant fan of his dog Gator, and many other aspects of it. How do you know that? How do you know that I don't know that? Well, hold on, hold on. It's something like I I do remember this. Just let me think. It's something like um let me think. No, I don't. Okay, I'm thinking and well yeah, because I don't memorize people's I don't necessarily memorize. How about this? How about this? What is how about this? Before you answer that question, what's William Montgomery's Instagram? No, it's not, asshole. No, it's not. My friend, it's different than that. And you would know it's William F. Montgomery 1. It's actually William F. Montgomery 1. Any true William Montgomery fan would know that. You didn't know his middle name was and the middle initial was F though. You don't know it. I knew it was I knew it started with F. Not that you do either. How do you know that I don't know it according to you? Well, let me think about it. I think I know it, but I may be wrong and I don't want to take a risk. Oh, it's Francis. Wait, is it? No, that's his mom's name. Um, His mom's name? No, it's not. His dad's name is Larry, and his mom's name is Frances. No, how? Wait, you're not kidding. You think you know this? You think you know all about William Montgomery, and you don't. You didn't know his Instagram handle. No, you didn't. That's fine, but you didn't know the F. You didn't know the F. Yet you had to ask me about it. And frankly, wait, no, you said it incorrectly. You said it's William Montgomery 1, which is not his Instagram handle. If you were a die-hard fan, you would know that his Instagram handle is William.F.Montgomery 1. That's what a true fan would say. Wouldn't you agree? There you go. So, what are your thoughts on Casey Rocket? If you read the comments, he's gone. He's no longer in the about. Yeah. Well, Jimmy Kimmel might not be gone. No, they said indefinitely. How do you know? I have a question for. Did you know that Caspian Sea got married? Yeah. I spoke with him earlier this week. Why didn't you mention that he got married? Yeah, that's an important thing to mention. All right. Well, he had mentioned it, but I didn't know if he was like being serious. What do you think Gator the dog's Instagram handle is? Yo, dog. What do you think Gator the dog's Instagram handle is? I asked you, what do you think it is? Are you sure that Gator the dog has an Instagram handle? Of course you are. Dog. 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 You say that, but you don't even know. You didn't even know what his Instagram handle was. So maybe you're a bigger Gator the dog fan. I'm not conceding that. I'm just saying maybe. Or more likely, you are just making up facts, which is not. Yeah, that I'm not following William F. Montgomery one, but I have sent him a manifesto, which you've never done. Dog, he asked for it. What do you want me to do? Hold on. Hold on. Um, I think it's just an excuse for them to take him off the air because nobody thinks he's funny anymore. What are your thoughts?
It's all one unit for the state. It's smart here. It was good enough to pick all that stuff. I mean, it's Swiss. I think I better. So I'm wondering, my knowledge, if somebody
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
on a military
That's why I think that it didn't really have to do. That's why I think it didn't have to do with that joke too much.
time on it, want to work into it, and so
I have a question for you. I have a question for you. Gator the dog's Instagram. Are you sure that it's still live? Can you confirm that for me, please? Can you please confirm that Gator the dog's Instagram account wasn't taken down?
but that's why I decided to go to, which is renowned at phenomenon.
Well,
So that's
because Well, what I'm saying is that William Montgomery is maybe with, like, maybe he broke up with his girlfriend and he lost the dog. Just one moment. I think it's Gator Montgomery 1. Gator dot Montgomery 1. But that's the one that I've been following. I'm not sure if that's the one that you're referencing, but Gator dot Montgomery 1, that's the one that I would say is the the Instagram handle of Gator the dog. What are your thoughts on that? Number two. Oh, okay. What did you think about that robot that fell and got right back up? What did you think about that robot that fell down and got right back up? Yes, would you please? Dude, creepy. Did you see Dana White's doing robot fighting? But what are your thoughts on how quickly the robot gets up? Dude, did you even see it? Like, freaky fast. Freaky fast. Freaky, freaky fast. Are you are you ready to play Karam? Are you ready to play Karam? Okay. So, do you think William Montgomery broke up with? All right. Do you think that William Montgomery and Erica broke up? Yeah, but well, he took Casey Rocket out of the description. What are your thoughts on that? He took Casey Rocket out of the description. Just the most recent one, but he's no longer in there where he normally was previously. Yes. Any William Montgomery fan would know that. That's obvious. Because you're number two. I'm excited. Do you want to hear about my fantasy football team? Do you want to hear about it? Because we are number one in the nation. We are 4-0. Yeah, I'm worried though. This week I've got to play Yo-Yo, and Yo-Yo is the commissioner of the league, and he's like, he has a really good team. No, I'm predicted there's a 57% chance that I win. What are your thoughts on that? All right, well, thank you. I have a question for you. Will you make me aware when you're ready to play carom? Okay, what did you think of those? Dog, no one cares. Absolutely no one cares. Dog, I have a question for you. Are you ready for my question? Here's my question. Yeah, dog. Ask any Asian. All right, are you ready for my question? My question is this, and I feel it's a very, very good question. Maybe one of the greatest questions on earth. What did you think of that video with those glasses? Dog, 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 dog. Just watch it. I'll wait. I'll wait. I'll be patient, and I won't be mean. Just watch it. Dude, he did comedy Monday, and he did so well that some girl gave him a hug afterward. Some girl gave him a hug afterward. Yeah, but you have to be funny to. Yeah, it's in between my amazing meme that I hand created for you on my phone, and
it's interesting. But first off, as podcast on the Coast to Coast AM Paranormal Podcast Network, it's called. And if you go to coasttocoastpm.com, there's a menu at the top, and it says podcast. You'll find that podcast right.
Isn't that freaky where they say to that guy, like, hey, didn't you author this paper? And he's like, yeah. How did you know that? Oh, yeah, all that shit is concerning as fuck. And they know that person's parents' names and shit.
For hundreds of years, these remote mountains. And there are paranormal.
Um,
I
I mean, I mean, let's think about it. You could be like, are you, or I mean, I think it'd be really good. You could go up to hot chicks and be like, hey, aren't you Sarah Goldsmith? And, well, no, no, no. And she'd be like, yeah. And you'd be like, oh, uh, you may not remember me, but we've met before. And she'd be like, huh? What? And you'd be like, yeah, we met at a party when you went to Columbia. And she'd be like, oh, yeah, like this person does know me because I did go to Columbia. And you'd be like, yeah, I just saying hello. How are things going? And she'd be like, well, what's your name? And you'd be like, oh, Rabbi Rothschild. I've got a huge dick. But no, then you'd be like, oh, cool. And then you have an in with them. I mean, people wear glasses, and then you could just be like, oh, I have meta glasses on. And then she'd be like, oh, that's cool. Can I wear them? And you would just be like, actually, they're prescription, and I would rather you not. But anyway, I see your friend here, Lindsay. How you doing? And Lindsay, no, you wouldn't say that. No, you could use it. You could use it like for good. I mean, that would be true. That would be true. So you could be. That would be amazing. So you go up to hot chicks and you'd be like, "I'd like to play. You want to play a game?" Exactly. Let's let. If, so you could be like this. Let's. I'm going to do a magic. Let's play a game. If you win, I buy you a drink. If I win, you buy me a drink. And she'll be like, okay, what's the game? And you'd be like, all I have to do is guess the first letter of your name. And she'll be like, okay. And you're like, S. She's like, yeah, that's right. How did you know that? And you'd be like, you just look like somebody who had like a name like started with an S. And then you'd be like, all right, well, if you owe me a drink, but I'll tell you what, I'll let you play basically double or nothing. But if I get your full name right, then you have to give me your number. And she'd be like, that's weird. But yeah, that's the funny thing is you would be like, I already got this girl's number, but whatever. Um, yeah. But that thing's freaky. Now here's my question for you. Yeah, dude. At least in the United States it is. We used to have things called telephone books, dog. Right. But still it's available on like I think there are a bunch of websites that have that data. Yeah, one of them's called like Telio or something. Like it's not Twilio, that's different. But yeah, there it's available. Dude, okay. I have a new strategy. Well, let me first say I really appreciate you trying to give me strategies to go viral. It shows that you care and that you're always thinking, and I mean that not in a snarky way. I mean that in a heartfelt way. So thank you. I don't like using Facebook or Meta because I mean I use Meta all the time. I use Instagram all the time, but I don't like using Facebook because it's so easy to ban your account. And once they ban your account, it's really hard to get into your other accounts. And so, um, exactly, exactly. So that's why you were like, well, why don't you just spam these live streams? And it's like I would, but then it's really easy for them to ban me. And then it's like then it's got like my MAC address of my device, like all kinds of other shit. And it's really hard for me to just create another account. And also to create a bunch of accounts quickly on Facebook is somewhat tedious. I'm not saying it's impossible or anything like that, but it's tedious. Okay, did you know that Instagram has made a uh yeah, but sometimes if you do it a lot quickly on multiple times on the same device, they say there's like a message that comes up that says like this is a suspicious sign up attempt. Please try again later. Um, I learned that through Instagram. Okay, so did you know that Instagram changed its policy? You can no longer just live stream. You have to have 1,000 followers to live stream. Yeah, dude, and I agree. I've got a couple of accounts that have 1,000 followers on Instagram, but then I have um like a lot of other accounts. Well, I did. I bought 10,000 followers. So I do have some accounts that reach that threshold, but I have other accounts that don't. Because what I used to do is just create an account and then I had this bot that would just live stream for me and then end the stream after 4 hours, and then upload it and then start a new live stream. And it went for like more than 2 years. The reason why I still didn't do it is because this was so stupid. This was so stupid. I was listening to stand-up comedy, and whenever you listen to stand-up comedy, Facebook goes crazy because they're like, you know, you're not allowed to cuss, you're not allowed to like use any kind of like racial terms or anything like that. And it's not like I'm doing that, but it's the people who are on the stand-up comedy. So somebody says something like, um, I don't know. It wasn't exactly this, but this is just kind of like the scenario. Let's just say it was like Kill Tony, and somebody says something like, um, "This girl was so ugly, she made me want to jump in front of a car." Just something like that. Okay, they consider that to be suicidal tendencies, and they banned my account for 1 year from live streaming. What the fuck is this? I've never seen a 1 year ban.
That's really long. And I've seen other people, famous people, get that same ban, basically because people were offing themselves live on Instagram, and Instagram didn't want that kind of reputation. So they would just put this incredibly long ban on you, which I thought was absolute garbage. Okay, so so I have two strategies going simultaneously. Okay, so one of them is it's an account that I make on uh, on Twitch, and it just follows people. Literally, all it does is follow people, and I got two people in here in 48 hours, and I'm like, "How'd you find out about me?" And they're like, "Followed me on Twitch." I was like, "Okay, great." That worked really well, but it hasn't worked for the last like 96 hours or so, so that's fine. Then I had another strategy that I used that's on handheld devices, where what it does is it creates a clip of the person on Twitch, puts my link in their Twitch, and I got one person in here from that. Okay, but then there's this other strategy that I'm using that is, I think, going to be the thing. I always say this, Riser. People will go back on the stream and be like, "This is when Rabbi thought he was going to go viral, and this is when Rabbi thought he was going to go viral, and he thought he was going to go viral this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, and here's the newest one." So I did this thing on Twitter, um, where Twitter was, well, better than any of my friends how to create multiple Twitter accounts. But you know what happens is the Arcos challenge, right? Yeah, but the Arcos challenge system is either down or X has shut it off because I haven't seen it, and I created multiple accounts. Normally, I get that Arcos challenge when I first signed up, and then immediately when I had any interaction with a user, and then I would do like three more things, and then it would ban my account. It was like really strict. But I just have been doing this all evening. Do you have your phone? All right, you're quite the chef, aren't you? That's cool. Do you have your computer or phone available? Okay. Okay. So what I did, if you just just like people a lot, there's eventually something that comes up that says you're not allowed to like any more people. We think this is automated. But it wasn't forcing me to do an Arcos challenge, which is super great because that Arcos challenge just is such a pain in the ass. Um, and so I'm like, okay, fine. I can't like people all that much. Then if I would post stuff underneath someone's tweet or whatever, it wouldn't show up. Nothing. I mean, it's not even like it says show spam or show unrecommended results. It just doesn't show anything. It just straight up shadow bans me. However, if I repost something that someone has done, it it doesn't notify them. All of my notifications are being silenced. However, it does, if you click on it and you look at the interaction, it does show my profile, which is all I really need because I just do stuff so much that eventually people will see it and be like, what the fuck is this? So you click it, and then you can see my profile and how I have like the most built out profile you'll ever see. So basically, right now, if you type the word Jew into Twitter, everybody for the last like 4 hours has gotten a repost by me, and it's just the most heinous shit. It's Jews fighting anti-Semites and anti-Semites fighting Jews, and it's just this back and forth war, and then you just see me upvoting everything, like whether it's posted by an anti-Semite or posted by a Jew or someone in the middle. Everything has just gotten reposted by me. Now, this would be a really wonderful tactic. Dog, I want anybody who will pay attention to me. I welcome enemies because those are the people who troll me the most and they tell their friends about it. I just want the attention. That's all I give a shit about. That's all I need. I don't necessarily need allies. I did that. I did that like 2 months ago, maybe less than a month ago, or less than 2 months ago. I've had other people do it as well, and it gets a little bit of steam, but it's usually just people who say like "Get out of here, Jew." No one gives a shit about you, Jew. Just like stuff like that, and I've got it gets like maybe like 5 comments or so, and then it like runs out of momentum, and then it gets on the second page or the third page, and then nobody pays attention to it anymore. But that's fine. Oh, I did not know you can keep bumping it. How do you bump it? I've gotcha. Right. I've gotcha. William Montgomery. Um, I run into the issue, at least on 4chan, where uh, it it's so fucking annoying. Uh, I don't know if you've ever posted to 4chan, but the capture that you have to do, at least on my phone, is like very, very difficult. It's this slider that you do that normally would be really easy, and it seems like it's really easy, but for whatever reason, at least on my phone, it's like basically impossible for me to be able to like get correct, and that's really fucking annoying. And other things about it, let me think. Oh, once you do it, you have to wait 20 minutes if you use a VPN. And uh, and even yeah, that's what it is. Well, I thought you had to get like 4chan premium or something to automatically do it. You're right. It's 300 seconds. It's not 20 minutes. So that's like what 5 minutes. And but it's annoying as fuck because I'll wait the 5 minutes and then post and it'll be like error. And I'll have to do that like 3 or 4 or 5 times. That's why I say it takes me like 20 minutes because sometimes I have to do it. Okay. Yeah. So there's that. There's like that issue. And there are issues where it's like a one or an I or an L or whatever it is. It's a pain in the ass. So I've just been turned off by that. But this the strategy that I have with the reposting, So here's how you have to see it, or here's how, if someone's going to understand how this is done best, in my opinion, is like, if you do anything on the internet for a long enough period of time, it'll eventually get attention. What do I mean? Like, if you were able to just post and post and post and post and post, someday, maybe 60 years from now or 150 years from now, if that platform's still going, it'll get attention. The difficult thing, though, is to just consistently do it, because normally people get burned out after like an hour of doing it manually, or maybe there's some kind of bot trigger that prevents them from doing it for more than a day or whatever. But I just find, at least with my strategies, that if I figure out a way how to do something consistently for a long period of time, it gets me a lot of attention. Like Kick, but here's what I found, at least with Kick. Kick is not a big enough platform that I'm going viral there. But Twitter could be. Twitter's much larger. And Twitch could be. Twitch is much larger. Twitch is 10 times as big as Kick. And Twitch, yeah, I'm live in it right now. I've been live in it 24/7. Dude, I want to say it's because I'm shadow banned. I've been live 24/7 in there. Well, I restart it at least twice a day, but so it's like in 12-hour increments. I've been live in there since February 14th, which is a lot. That's like 6 months. Nobody does a Twitter space that long. And I can tell you, in total, I've had less than 100 people join it. And that tells me that it's shadow ban. I mean, I know it's shadow ban. When you go and do the big search, it doesn't show up. And the only way that people find it is if they put in a search term that is in my title. So I do use common search terms like crypto and Bitcoin and stuff like that, Mike, but still, I'm the only person in here, even though it's a video space, which is really cool to people. It's basically a shadow ban thing. And I hate to just use that as an excuse, but I don't know what else to tell you. I'm telling you, I've been in here for 6 months. Yeah, it should be, and there's an argument. It should be, and there's an argument that it is an antitrust issue, and it should be fought with the Securities and Exchange Commission. The state of Florida they had passed it through their legislature that the practice of shadow banning was going to be made illegal, but their governor vetoed it, and it's never gotten any traction in any other state. So, like, shout out to the state of Florida. They tried. They legitimately tried to make this an illegal practice. So, basically, we're at the point now where it is a legal practice, and they just don't call it shadow banning on the back end of their on the platform side. They just call it something like what would they call it? Like de-emphasizing a post. So they'll just de-emphasize posts or de-emphasize users, and that's the equivalent of shadow banning them. But like, that's exactly what's happening to me, where I create an account and I put a post on like my own reply to something that I've done to see if it comes through, and nothing comes through. I would never know as a user that somebody replied to me, but on the other side, it looks like it worked. and then I look on it with yet a third account, and it does not post. It doesn't look like it posted, even though the number will say like there's one comment. You can't view the comment. It should be an illegal practice. And if I go viral, I'm gonna bring attention to this. Now Twitter. Well, yeah, but if you see, it is. But if you see what I'm doing on Twitter, I think this is gonna work because I know I say it, but I've been. Let me check this again. Yeah, dude. I've been checking this. Um, it's been going with very little human interaction for maybe like 4 hours now, and um, and it's just a numbers game. Basically, if I do this for the next 4 months straight, basically till the end of the year or 3 months, somebody's gonna see it and be like, "What the fuck is this?" Pardon me? What did you say? So, it is kind of shadow banned, but not really. Okay, so what happens if you click on the post? It will show that somebody upvoted it, and if you click on the interactions, it puts my name in there. That's all I need, because then somebody will click on my name and they see I have this huge profile with all this information in it, and it's very easy for them to find out more information about it. Like, that's all I need. Word is right. Yeah, so it's still working. Um, do you have? Do you have? Are you done chopping onions? Are you a gourmet or gourmand? Are you a gourmand? It's like a gourmet. Oh, I'm. Hold on, hold on. No, I meant gourmet. Gourmand means a gluttonous person. Not what I meant. Hold on. Gourmet. A gourmand is a person given in to excess in the consumption of food and drink. A greedy or ravenous eater. No, it is. It is a person who appreciates good food. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I guess, are you a gourmet? Do you like? Well, there's gourmet and gourmand. So I guess gourmet is somebody who makes the food, and gourmand is somebody who eats it. Are you a gourmet? Do you like to cook? So you're a yeah. I would say I am more a gourmand than a gourmet, though. I like to, when I have time and the right ingredients. I guess I like to be a gourmet. That's cool. But yeah, eating it is a lot more fun a lot of times than making it. Making it can be a lot of work. I actually like stuff that's really easy. Um, but yeah. Okay. So I have this strategy that anybody who mentions the word Jew
Okay, good. So anyone who mentions the word Jew on one computer, or the word Jewish on another computer, they get their shit reposted. Now, I wish it reposted them to the point where they got a notification, but that's shadow banned or whatever you want to call it. I guess what do they call it? They call it um, notification silencing. Notification silence. So they use these terms that are basically the equivalent, shadow banning and notification silencing, but one one works, or one is the preferred nomenclature to the other. Anyway, what I can tell you is that this strategy does get some people to view my shit, which is cool. And more than anything, Riser, it the account's not getting banned. You know, when you did this, it was really easy. I don't know, but I have not gotten it. I mean, I've been literally, yeah, and I even looked up in ChatGPT if they shut it off, and it said, or at least in some large language model, that they did not. But I would have gotten it by now. The worst thing that happens is they log you out of your account and make you log back in and do like an email verification. But I can automate that. That's easy. But what isn't easy is putting the people in the right chairs and making it so that the planets are in the right direction or whatever, or making it so that the fingers pointing at the dog correctly, like all that shit. It's not that bad, but it is bad when you have to do it often, and you have to do 20 of them. That's ridiculous. So I can tell you that, yeah, I do. Twitter was a bad platform before he bought it. It's still a bad platform, but at least there's seemingly more accountability in it now. The code is public. They don't hire people who are, I mean, I guess they ban people. Like they still ban me. I get that, but they don't ban alternative voices as much. I've noticed like people say some really horrendous shit on Twitter, especially the interactions that I see. Like you can't say this shit on Instagram. You can't post some of these memes on like, Instagram or Facebook. Exactly. Now, do I think that just stupid shit? Um, I can't stand it. Like, there's this thing, this term. Do you know what a turf is? TERF. It's a it's a trans. It's a uh, it's a trans exclusionary radical feminist. This used to be just known as a woman who was proud to be a woman. But this is basically like any woman specifically, who doesn't think that a man can be a woman. So this is like somebody who thinks like um, women by birth, and that's the only way you can be a woman is basically uh, a hate term or something like that. Like when I was a kid, like the National Organization of Women was like a really powerful entity in the United States, and they have been basically silenced during the um, trans movement because those women who were once fighting for rights and equality and all the other things basically got subdued or not subdued is not the right word. They got undercut by the trans movement. Well, you got one group. Um, in a lot of ways, gay people felt that way. There are a lot of gay people who don't want to be associated with the trans movement. They see it as totally different. And I do too. I think that there's gay rights, gay and lesbian, and trans is a different thing because you get trans people like I am who are like straight up lesbians who, to some people, mock the entire system, and to other people have a very interesting take on it from a transhumanist standpoint. Basically, I'm a transhumanist, and I feel that transgenderism is perhaps a step in that direction. Now, other people would say you're just full of shit, but that could be said about the whole movement. Have you ever realized that you're like the slowest cook in the world? You're making rice and what else? I mean, did you order this shit from Peru? Are you following a are you following are you following a recipe? Are you following a recipe? Yeah, I know green. Yeah, they're like leeks. Are they almost like leeks? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've had those green onions where they're like white on the end and then they get greener up the stalk. Yeah, yeah, they're good. Unagi or umagi, sweet
sour, bitter, salty. Yeah, baby. Yeah. There's something called the miracle fruit that is, I feel, not just an amazing fruit, but it's like a game changer of taste for the world. I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but they it has a berry. It's called the miracle berry. It's only found in like this one area of Asia, but you eat it, and when you eat it for the next 30 minutes, you can eat a, a lemon, which is usually very bitter, and it tastes like an orange. And cheese tastes sweet. It makes everything taste sweet, and it adds no sugar to it. So basically, it's like a almost like a magic potion that wears off after 30 minutes. But um, anything that you eat tastes very sweet, and so you literally take a lemon and eat it like an orange. You take a lime and eat, yeah, multiple times. Yeah. I tried for the first time. I'm maybe like 10 years ago. I'm really like I know a lot about the ketogenic diet, and like I don't like at one time in my life I was very strict to it, but just doing the streaming that I do, it's difficult for me to because it's very expensive. But I would stay away from sugar as much as possible at one point in my life. Lost a lot of weight doing it. And I was looking for like sugar replacements, and I found these berries that you can order on Amazon, and they ship them in, and they come in like a packet, and then it's almost like doing a drug. Like you eat them, and then um like cheese tastes really good. Not that it doesn't normally, but it tastes sweet, like almost like ice cream. And the big one that's crazy is that lemons and limes taste like oranges, like really, really sweet. And then I told my friends about it. No, immediately after eating it, for the next 20 minutes. Or it's really, yes. Yeah. And so I told my friends about this, um, and then they bought them. And one night, one afternoon for Shabbat, we tried it, and they couldn't believe it. They were like, they were shocked, and they told some other friends that we had. It basically like just pass what like one group of people would try it, and then another group of people would try it, and by the end of it, like the whole community um, that I'm in basically had tried it, really enjoyed it. Yeah, and yeah, you eat it like an apple. I mean, like not at all, not at all. It tastes so sweet. It tastes better than an orange does. Like you could eat it with the rind. No, that's how animals eat it. That's how a monkey would eat it. Uh, I'm telling you, you could eat 5 lemons and it wouldn't do anything to you. Now, maybe if you ate that many, you might get canker sore, something like that because of the acidity. But you would get a canker sore if you had um, 5 oranges too, perhaps. But it just makes everything taste really sweet, and it does it without any sugar. And so I think this is something that could help the world. Basically, we wouldn't need to import as much sugar and add as much sugar to stuff if you just ate these miracle berries. Anyway, that's the most exotic thing that I've ever had that like I can think of in answer to your question that was like
a game changer. It's absolutely a game changer. Though. If you ever have the opportunity, order miracle berries on Amazon or go to your local Asian market and see if they have them. I think ideally, though, I would just order them from Amazon and just read the reviews. People will be like, it makes cheese taste like ice cream. It makes lemons taste like oranges. But it's not just, have you ever, you can eat grapefruit without, you know how people put sugar on their grapefruit because it's really tart? Oh, yeah, that's a big thing people do. Well, you can just eat grapefruit like plain, and you can eat lemons plain and limes plain. In fact, uh, outside of the house, there's a lemon tree, and I would just take lemons off of the tree and eat them with these berries, and you could just eat them whole, and they're just amazing. But then it wears off. I did both, so I ate them like an apple, and I just washed it off and ate it like an apple. And then I've also done it where I cut it up into pieces, and it once it starts to wear off, then you start to really understand the power of these berries because of how sour and bitter it the 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 citrus fruits are without them. But with them, it's like if you've ever played a video game, and okay, like have you ever played Super Mario Brothers and you get the star, and the star works for like I don't know 30 seconds or whatever, but you can run through anything. Do you know what I mean? It's just like that. They call it they call it miracle berries, and I had never heard of them, but I read about them, and then no one I'd known knew about them. But then I introduced it to my whole community, and they really liked it. Okay, so it's called miracle fruit, berry, miraculous berry, sweet berry. It's West Africa, not Asia. Anyway, um, so it's in tropical Africa. So you can't get this at your Asian store, but you can get them online. And it causes sour fruits such as lemons and limes subsequently consumed to taste sweet. And the berry itself has a low sugar content and mildly sweet tang. It contains glycoprotein, a glycoprotein molecule with some trailing carbohydrate change called miraculin. When the fleshy part of the fruit is eaten, this molecule binds with the tongue's taste buds, causing sour foods to taste sweet. At neutral pH, miraculin binds and blocks the receptors, but at low pH, resulting from ingestion of sour foods, miraculin binds proteins and becomes able to activate the sweet receptors, resulting in the perception of sweet taste. The effect lasts up until the protein is washed away by saliva, up to 30 minutes. History. The berry has been used in West Africa for a long time. It was part of the diet of the Yoruba people. Others used the fruits since at least the 18th century, when a European explorer provided the account of its use. The explorer who was searching West Africa for many different fruits in a 1725 excursion noticed that the local people picked the berry from shrubs and chewed it before meals. In the 1980s, in the United States, an attempt was made to commercialize the fruit for its ability to mask non-sweet fruits as sweet without caloric cost. But the Food and Drug Administration classified the berry as a food additive and required evidence of safety. So somebody tried to do what I was saying, where they should have used it to mask non-sweet foods as sweet. For a time in the 1970s, U.S. dieters could purchase a pill form of miraculin. The interest had a revival in food tasting events
at which tasters consume sour and bitter foods such as lemons, radishes, pickles. Oh, dude, pickles are really good. Hot sauce and beer, and experience a perceived change to sweetness where it's miraculous. Isn't that cool? Um, so it is in. It's a good question. The best meal I've ever had. Um, okay, so there's this restaurant I really like in the Pico Robertson area of Los Angeles that it's called Pat's, and I like steak, and they have like amazing steak, and it's kosher, and it's like they have that. They have that. I like to go there for steak, and then they have this thing afterward, this non-dairy um like brownie that is very good, and that's like my favorite meat meal, and my favorite method, it's kosher, so like you can't. No, it's more expensive than that. It's it's hard to find kosher restaurants. I mean, there are 31 of them in Los Angeles, last I checked, but they're they're not all like that. They're like there's some differentiation, but when keeping kosher, you just can't go to a McDonald's. Well, you can if it's a kosher McDonald's, but those are rare and only in other countries. But like you can't go to like um like I don't know, there are some places that you just can't go, especially like the really fine dining restaurants in Los Angeles. But this is a fine dining place, and it has wonderful meals. And then also, maybe my favorite dairy restaurant in the world is called the Milky Way. It's owned by Steven Spielberg. Actually, his mom started it, and I love going there with my family. And I really like their lasagna. They have dairy lasagna there. They do have like an Impossible Burger there as well, that they make really well, and then they have wonderful cheesecake there, and those are like two of my favorite places to go. But frankly, if you're just like, what do you? If I can get like one thing, my local butcher, it's called OC Kosher. I'm friends with the owners, and I would, yeah, um, I would like them. Yeah. I would order a like 10 pounds every week of steak and just have them cube it for me. And I would just eat that throughout the week with horseradish sauce. And I fucking love it. Oh, no, no, no. Maybe my, also from OC Kosher, they have this, they have, um, hold on, breaded, um, um, it's not shawarma. It's uh schnitzel. Uh and it's like it's amazing. I would get their breaded schnitzel like um quite often, and then um they have a duck sauce that I really like, and I would just eat that, especially on Sundays, until I fucking passed out. Yeah, good question. It's just like, yeah, it's German, yeah. I mean it's a Jewish delicacy as well. Um, and so what it is just like, no, no, no. It's just like beef, and it's breaded and like fried basically on the outside, and then um, you can eat it just like that, or you can eat it with a sauce. And I really like duck sauce, and so there's this duck sauce that I like. I really like sauces. Um, so with the steak, I like steak plain, but I also like steak with uh, horseradish a lot, and especially this one horseradish sauce. And then um, also this my local grocer has these pies that I really like. So they're like meat pies. A lot of the people in my community are from South Africa, and thus a lot of the foods that people enjoy in the community are like British foods, and the meat pies that they make are very, very good. Usually people don't think of like British. Excellent. I really like chicken pot pies, turkey pot pies, shepherd's pie. Those are like my favorite things. Oh, dude, they also I like brisket a lot. So I'll order this like tray of brisket, and there's like a barbecue sauce they put on it, which is just phenomenal. And it's what? Um, yeah, I think so. I think it's just I want to say yes. I want to say it's smoked, but then again, I don't think it is because at least the place where it's prepared doesn't have uh it's like I would expect it to have a smokiness to it, and it doesn't. But it's excellent. Um, what else do I like? My mom, actually, my grandma, and then my mom, and then I have a friend of mine. They all make excellent chicken paprikash, which is like it's a Hungarian dish. Um, the way it's prepared is just it's just basically like noodles and chicken, and there's like this broth that's like a tomato like broth that is excellent that I really like. I like meatballs a lot too. Um, I like gefilte fish. There are a lot of Jews who don't like gefilte fish, but I really do like it. I like it a lot. It's an Ashkenazi. Yeah, so it's German for filled or Yiddish for filled. Um, it's essentially a fish that's chopped up and put in with a breading, and then there's like a mold of it that is made, and then you cut it up into slices. And some people really don't like it, but I, especially with horseradish, I fucking love it. And traditionally, we have it on Friday nights before we start the main meal. It's like it's almost like an appetizer in a lot of homes. And then there's I really like borscht, which is like a Russian cuisine that has made it into Jewish diets. That is basically like beets, liquid beets. But I very much like that. There's this story though. I love beets, so I Yeah. Um, so I love those things. I love um what else? I mean, that's those are like the best. But so the best meal I've had, it's expensive, so I avoid it. And um, there isn't a lot of there aren't a lot of kosher options on it. The one that we do have is Postmates, that they will go to the kosher deli for me. Um, I when I order, a lot of times, I can get like 60 to 70% of what I need from Walmart just by ordering that. And then Costco. A lot of the cheeses that I like that are kosher are from there, but like um, there there are some you can get some kosher cheeses at Walmart, like Philadelphia cream cheese and stuff. That's kosher. You'd really be surprised what's kosher. And it's just how it's prepared. People think that a rabbi has to pray over it. No, it's about supervision and just preparation. Um, and there are things that I've always wanted to try that are kosher that I just like. There are some like truffles that I haven't tried, or some types of caviar. Um, and then yeah, every day I drink I drink 2 cups of coffee when I wake. Now I don't always, but I have recently, and um, I just have I have a Keurig, but that can get expensive, and I really do my best to keep my um, budget limit, or since I'm on a limited budget, um, I'll use this thing with my Keurig. Like I have Keurig cups, K cups, but then I have like a reusable K cup that's stainless steel that you can put in and it'll make coffee for me. Uh, but then I also have uh, just freeze dried coffee. It's just like instant coffee that I've been drinking recently, and it's been very good. Yo, what up, Obi Wan Kenobi? Obi Wan Kenobi, how are you? Obi Wan, can you hear me? Yeah, just one moment. It might be on my end. How'd you find out about me, Obi Wan? Obi Wan, I fucking love you, my man. You made my fucking day, dude. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Do you mind if I tell you about myself? Excellent. Well, firstly, I'm Rabbi Rothschild. I stream my life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for world peace. I've been doing so for more than 3.5 years. My streams go back to the pandemic. We've seen the death of a queen, the birth of AI, the coronation of a king, and everything in between. If I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Obi-Wan. Have you ever seen the movie The Truman Show or the television show Big Brother? Okay, excellent. Well, that's my life. If you didn't know this, The Economist magazine stated in 2018 that data was Earth's number one resource, more valuable than food, water, gold, air, everything. And I have more data archived on the internet than any person ever, which may make me an influential person someday. And if that happens, I want to make you, your friends, your family, all independently wealthy if you're not already. I want to make sure that you have generational wealth if you don't already. And I want to make sure that you're able to start charities and philanthropic organizations of your own. How does that sound to you, Obi-Wan? Absolutely. Oh, 100%. Uh, I am your rabbi. I'm the world's rabbi. And you should know if you ever have any halakhic questions, Jewish law questions, you want assistance with them, or just really if you need someone with whom to talk, I'm here for you. I'm here to be someone who lends support, to be a positive person in your life. I'm here to have an optimistic view on the future. And most of all, I just want to give people hope. If there's anything you ever need from me, Obi-Wan, I'm here for you. Excellent. You made my day. You made my wonderful, my friend. Well, I want you to know. Do you mind if I tell you about the other things I do? Excellent. So I talk about ending world hunger through the use of technology, such as agricultural drones, floating greenhouses, saltwater greenhouses, things like vertical farming and hydroponics and cloud seeding. I talk about ending world thirst. I'm sponsored by a cryptocurrency. It's worth about $100 million. And one of the things that we do is we build wells in developing nations like Nigeria. I want to continue with those types of projects. Additionally, I'm an advocate for the LifeStraw program and most importantly, desalination technology, where we pump earth seawater onto land to make it drinkable. How do those plans sound to you, Obi-Wan? Absolutely. Wonderful. I talk about other things that I feel are going to change the world when people hear my message. Things like anti gravity, antimatter, faster than light travel, faster than light communication, things like Santa Claus machines, invisibility cloaks, artificial narrow intelligence, artificial general intelligence, artificial super intelligence, things like perhaps de-extinction. People don't know this, but the first successful de-extinction took place in the year 2003 with the Pyrenean ibex, which was a goat located in northern Spain, southern France. Fast forward to the year 2021, a company out of Dallas, Texas is founded known as Colossal Bioscientific. They've made it their goal that within the next 3 years to reintroduce the woolly mammoth into the Arctic Circle using Asian elephant surrogates, which I just think is a really exciting prospect. Following the reintroduction of the woolly mammoth, they want to reintroduce the Tasmanian tiger, followed by the dodo bird, which I think is just a really exciting opportunity. I talk about other things that may be 100%, my friend. I'm about the future and about world peace. One thing for you, you should know, if you want, this is all with your consent. I'm very much about consent. And you should know if you want, you may be able to take advantage, and I may be able to help you someday with life extension technology. When you were born, Obi-Wan, the average life expectancy for you was probably about age 80. I would increase that to age 100, 120 if you want, through the use of technology such as oxygen therapy, stem cells, cryonics, cryogenics, human growth hormone, testosterone replacement therapy, things like cold shock therapies, ambrosia therapies, red light therapies, perhaps nootropics. But eventually you may get to be 120 years old. You may say, Rabbi, you know what? Back in 2025, all those things that you talked about came true, and you were able to make me happier than I would have ever imagined. But my body's starting to break down. What's the next plan? And this is if you want, Obi-Wan, you may be able to take advantage of a type of technology known as mind uploading technology. This is all with your consent, but if you want, we'd be able in the future to scan your brain into a computer like a CAT scan or an MRI, knowing where every atom is in your central nervous system and your peripheral nervous system for later download as an android, an avatar, a cyborg, a cybernetic being, a clone of yourself, a robot, an ethereal being, whatever you want to be. But essentially, what I'm saying to you, Obi-Wan, is that you may be able to experience in the future a digital immortality. What are your thoughts? It, Absolutely, my friend. Well, it's very serendipitous. I'm not going to take up any more of your time. You should know that you're always welcome here. And it is just, I think, a beautiful thing that you had the courage to come in here and learn about me and come back whenever you have time. And we'll discuss all of those things and more. Okay. Excellent. Thank you so much, Obi-Wan. Shout out to Kent. Shout out to your family. Many blessings. Peace. Riser. 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 Did you hear that? Riser. Oh, motherfucker. This motherfucker's not here. Riser. Riser. No way. This fucking thing worked. Yeah. Okay. Dude, I've just been spamming people for like 4 hours and I already got somebody in here. Do you know that I spammed people on Blue Sky for 6 months and I only got 2 people in here? Yeah, but I didn't get people in here. And where I change lives is in here. So I just do the math basically. And if I got one person in here in 4 hours, that's a game changer. I've never gotten anyone in here as quickly as that using this type of strategy without getting the account banned immediately. You have no idea how big this is to me, and I don't think I could really communicate it, but I'm going to go viral because of this bot. I will sit here and just use this strategy from now until I go viral, and I don't think it's going to take that long. Well, it's kind of what I said earlier. Is like if you continue to do something long enough on the internet, eventually somebody will find out about it. And like, so what am I saying? Like, imagine somebody had been streaming on the internet 24/7 for the last 30 years. That would probably be very famous, and people would, go back in your streams and find out all about it and learn about what you did. What I've done, I'm closing in on my 4-year anniversary, and that is at least for live streaming. Again, I have a lot of data though backed up on hard drives before then. Um, and so, but you're saying what are the other options? Well, if I continue to do this Twitch thing, if I did this Twitch thing for the next year, I would get some momentum from that. Would I go viral? I don't know. But again, it took me like 24 hours to get anyone in here from Twitch. And this is the middle of the night where we are. You know that it's 2:38 in the morning. And so even all the people who I'm like retweeting their stuff, at least like they're not American. Many of them are not. And that's big. But the you said like you had a dream of to do that like you got that idea to do the socializer stock market thing. I know that's not what it was, but like the podcast monetization. And I've told you before that I had a dream before I ever started this that like I was going to be the most famous person in the world and wealthiest, and all of these things were going to come true, and like all this stuff about the future, all those things that I've told you about previously. And the person who makes me famous is, I could be wrong, but I believe, are going to be from Australia. They're not Jewish, and they basically no, and it's not going to. I don't think it's going to be Zoo. I think that would have already happened. It might be. No, it's somebody who has a big Twitter account, and they go through they. So this is how it happens. It's on a Monday night that it happens, and like again, this was a dream, and it could have all been wrong. But if it wasn't, the way that I think it happens is, um, they get my retweet or whatever, and it was going to come from Twitter, and
I remember asking in the dream, why Twitter? And they were like, at least the rabbinate, the rabbis with whom I was talking in the stream, they were like, um, because that was one of the first social medias that you had ever heard of. Facebook, I was on Facebook in its first year. Mark Zuckerberg and I were friends in the first year, like literally Facebook friends. And then and his two roommates were going to work for Google. And back then to work for Google was like a brand new company, and they were like two really int- Zoot, just who we were talking about. What up, baby? How are you? You, me. Oh, dude, that's a great song. Zoot. Oh, yeah, that is funny. Um, okay, so I'm going to it right now, and who's it hosted by? By R. Kelly? Oh, Rat World. Okay, so that one's different. Okay, do you know what is a banger song, Zoot? Is the remix to Ignition. Well, you said Ignition. At no point did you ever say the remix to Ignition. That's a different song. Why did Candace and Charlie bring people to this song? Oh, can I tell you something? I have a confession. You ready for it? I find Candace Owens to be extremely attractive. Extremely. She's a beautiful woman. She is beautiful. Big time. She's exceptionally pretty. There you go. Zoot knows what I'm talking about. She's a gorgeous woman. No, no, no. It's not rage bait at all. She's very symmetric. She has a beautiful smile. She has beautiful eyes, beautiful skin, an amazing nose. She's a hottie. I may not I may not agree with her politically, but physically, she can get it. Zoot, tell Riser all about Monday and the girl hugging you and everything. Tell him your joke. It was funny. Whatever one you said. No, I didn't hear that one, but you told one. Wait, maybe it was. Just say your jokes. What did you say on Monday? There you go. You know what? Zoot, the first joke that you tell him about the girl afterward. Riser. I already asked this question exactly. This I said 10, and I got him to say she was better than a 5, but not an 8. Between a 5 and a 7, but she has tattoos, and that's not Zoot's thing. So he doesn't want to date her. Right, but I mean, I'm better than the girl at the gangbang. Let's be honest. But shout out to the girl at the gangbang. But she gave him her Instagram. What the fuck? What the fuck? Right, Riser. He got her Instagram. Riser, can you hear us? Zoot, I think that your joke about RFK Jr. could that is one you could use in January, I think. Zoot, do you know what kind of joke that's do you know what kind of joke that's called? It's called a misdirect. It's where you set up the audience that you're going one way and then you take them the other way. So you set them up to think like what are these people going to be able to do, and then you bring in the politician, and that's very funny. What's your let's hear your poem, Zoot. Okay, not your strongest material, but I'm glad that you had the creative juices flowing. But Zoot, you're not autistic. Yeah, but even you said that your doctor's full of shit, and then have only talked to me for the last month about how you don't have that. Yeah, I mean, sure, sure, because it's uh, everything is a word, dog. Absolutely. Zoot, Zoot, would you please ask Riser a question for me? The question is this: how much fucking longer is he going to take making his gourmet meal before he plays mini golf with Zoot and me?
It hasn't been that long, has it? Okay. Okay. I have a question. My phone is a little messed up. I'd like to restart my device. Riser, will you please keep Zoot distracted or entertained so that he doesn't leave the call before I return?